So how I do my bandit signs is I put a lot of my own up in the market I'm in. I also have partners that do bandit signs. And like in Genesee market where I'm at, and that's my target market, but if you did cash for your home in Detroit, my stuff will come up. And I have some signs in Detroit, but Genesee's where I'm really working, so it's the same thing there. So my signs say cash for your house, and one of the guys that puts out my signs will do handwritten homemade signs and put them out, but they're on every corner. So my objective is to get, every time I go out, to have at least 4 or 5 appointments for that day. And we set the appointments 45 minutes apart. And I've taken with me I'm a licensed real estate agent, but I've got with me who's my partner, he's a real estate agent. So remember I told you everything I do is set up to be a process. So like if I got a listing in Detroit, I'm not gonna be the one going on the listing call. Eddie's gonna go on the listing call, and then him and I are gonna be partners in the deal. So I'm a lead generator. But on the Flint market, I'm gonna go on the call with my partner. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm looking for an incredible deal in real estate. But usually on a typical day, I don't find that incredible deal. So my goal is to do every quarter one find, fix, and flip. So I'm going to give you some examples of that. I'm getting ready to close this month on a 4-unit in Oxford that we bought and we managed. There was 4 people involved in it. And when we got that unit, we put it back on the market for in excess of $150,000 above what we paid. We finally got an offer. Each one of us is going to make about $31,000 on that. I bought a house in Flint Township, and when I went in, remember when I go in, and this is how I do all the houses when I go there. I go in and we look the house over. If it's a house I really want, I'll say that I'm willing to make you a cash offer. And a lot of times I'll tell them it would be better if you listed it retail. That's where you're going to get it. But if you've got a motivated seller, they want to cash out on the spot. So in that particular house in Flint Township, I offered her $29,000. We put $15,000 into the house. We just got it pending deal, scheduled to close the first of next month for $119,000. So you can do the math on that. That's a really good deal for us. I got another one in Mount Morris that's the same thing. And I even told the guy that he would be better off to let us list it and get it gone and that kind of stuff. And he says, no, I want your cash offer. I offered him $15,000. That particular house is on the market, going back on the market at $75,000. We put $10,000 into it. So my number one objective is to find a really, really good deal in real estate. But remember, you're knocking on everybody's door. So when I go into the other house, and while I'm there, this is exactly what I'm going to say to them. This house doesn't work for me or what I'm looking for, but I run the largest real estate investor meetup in the state of Michigan. It has 6,800 members. I also have meetups in 8 other locations: Dallas, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Albuquerque, St. Louis. And combined, all those groups together, there's over 30,000 members. So what I'm able to do is to get your house exposure. Real estate is a function of price. You know, in other words, once you list a house, if you've got the right price, it'll sell. But if you want to get that house out, it's also a function of exposure. And I explained to them, nobody can get you more exposure than me. And then I say, not only can I do that, I'm going to prove it to you every day. Every day, you're going to get emails from me showing you everywhere I listed. Now, I'm an internet marketer, so I have a team of a lot of people it's over 100 of them that can post on Facebook groups throughout the U.S. So we post on real estate investor groups. We do the flyer of their house with the pictures and everything. In the last 2 months, we've had 2 out-of-state California investors come in and buy properties in Flint because they can buy a Flint property for what it costs them to put a garage door in their house in California. So, but it works, is what I'm saying. So now what I'm doing is every day I'm sending them the proof by email. And I explain to them it's a function of price. So I say, if you want to list the house a little bit higher, you can, but if it gets no feedback, no showings, then we have to drop the price. And you got to keep dropping it till it hits the price. Because those people are getting emails from me every day, they know that we're working. In a lot of cases, they'll tell us to drop the price. But we can talk to them so I don't lose the listings. A lot of times when you list something you don't get a deal, then people are dropping you like a hot potato. So we're able to maintain that and we're able to get the listings. So what am I really doing? I'm looking for that extraordinary deal, remember, that I can buy, 1 a quarter. But what I want to do is feed my face along the way. There's a thing called groceries and stuff like that. So if you look at the numbers, and you can play with the math here. So if I I can easily get 4 listings a week, okay? And we're going to do, our minimum commission is $3,000. So a lot of the Flint properties might be $15,000, $9,000, $9,900, but we have a minimum commission of $3,000. We explain that we have to pay another realtor inside that, and then it's where it's going to go. But remember, I've got the guy putting the signs out, so he's a realtor too. He's 1/3. The real estate agent I'm with is 1/3, and I'm 1/3, right? So if you take that on a $3,000 commission, if another agent sells it, we're going to pay him $700 because that's going to be the listing commission, which is enough in Flint that it would attract other agents to sell that property because it's a good commission. So that leaves $2,300 that's going to get split 3 ways, worst case. But if it's off my sign, it's only getting split 2 ways, me and my real estate broker that are out there. So if you take like an average of 4 houses, that's like $9,200 if you took it times the $2,300, and you're doing that every week. Now some of those are going to fall apart, but it's enough of a closing that you're feeding your face. So do you follow my concept? So my objective is, and you see a lot of wholesalers, they just want to get a deal tied up. But if I'm listing it, so we talk about control. If I'm the lister and I got a motivated seller and they don't have a problem with me taking that to other investors, do you see I can work my network? So it's a major win situation for me. So I've created a system where I make money no matter which direction I go. Does everybody follow that? So leads. So remember I told you Google Places, I told you bandit signs, and then you need to create partners. So remember my bandit sign guy, he's my partner. The realtor's my partner that I'm taking with me. But then you can create other partners. In the past, I had party stores. So I would create a flyer in a party store, but the flyer had a control number on it. I used Twilio numbers, and that control number got recorded. So now the party store owner can track what I'm doing because he can listen to the recording of that call coming in, and he says, oh, we got a deal happening here, and I'm going out to meet him. Then he becomes a partner in the deal. So do you see how now he's going to be in his store listening to people and think, this is the guy to work with. I had a guy that delivered newspapers to all the party stores, so he put flyers in all the party stores for me too, with control numbers where he's in the deal. So you can, and then I've had relationships with the mail carrier. Mail carrier knows what's going on. They know who's getting foreclosed on, who's got mortgage problems, whatever. So there's a whole, if you go to my website, there's all kinds of videos where I talk about how to generate leads. So now, remember I said that I'm in the Genesee market, but I'm also got Google Place locations in Detroit. I'm taking those leads and giving them to a very experienced wholesaler. So now if he's closing something, what's the arrangement I made with him? I'm a 50% partner with him. So do you kind of see That's how I'm doing the game. The question is, when you put bandit signs out, there's certain cities that have regulations against it. They're going to pick the signs up. There's some cities, though, if you check with the city, you can actually register to put your sign out. But when we typically put signs out, we're putting them in areas where we know we can not have an issue. And do we get signs picked up? Yes. Do we run into that same problem? Yes. But it's just a cost of doing business. Well, the meetup site is National Real Estate Network. The real estate website that we list the properties on in the Genesee area, that's called MetroPlusRealtyLLC.com. And another thing we do that nobody else is doing is we advertise for houses that have had fires. I know that sounds crazy, and I personally would not buy a house that's had a fire. I've already experienced that. A house that's had a fire. But there are investors that have no issues with that. I just went through one this week that was minor smoke damage. So I'm advertising for something nobody else is doing, and I'm getting people. And we've sold a lot of those. And we've sold a couple of them to out-of-state investors. So I don't know, did I answer the question about the bandit signs? You got to look around and see where other people are putting up the signs and see if you've got a problem. And they will pick them up. You will run into issues. And sometimes they'll tell you to come get it. A lot of times, what I have to do with my one partner that puts them out, he'll put them out on a Friday night, and he picks the signs up on a Sunday. Now, he's out all night doing this, and Eddie's aware of it. He's been on a few of those runs. So we usually don't run into an issue because we picked all the signs back up, and we're able to put the signs on major intersections, like the intersection in front of this restaurant, and it gets a lot of phone calls. So, and what's interesting is people, when they see a bandit sign today, they take their cell phone, they shoot a picture of it, and they call you later on it. So, that's worked really well for us. So, and the sign company I get them from is supercheapsigns.com. And we do homemade ones, so it's just a wide range. And remember, I said I'm putting out some of my own signs too. So we put them, the ones I put out are, I would never put them on a telephone pole. Okay, so if you follow. So we put them where we don't have a problem. So if it's an abandoned building, like in the Flint market, we might put our sign, I just call it a big business card. I put it right on the building to let people know I'm there for them. So, but it works.
When you mentioned that website, is that the one where you said it had all of your, the list of where you get your leads from, how to generate leads?
Oh, no, that's National Real Estate Network, and it's, if you go to my YouTube channel, it's my name, Mark Maupin, YouTube channel, and you'll see them. Or you guys can email me, I'll send you information. My email is my last name, Maupin, MAUPIN .mark, M-A-R-K, @gmail.com. This is actually a networking event. We don't have a lot of people, but I do know that we've got a good mortgage company here, John. I'm going to have him come up and talk here in just a minute and do networking. If you came in late, this video that we're doing tonight will be put on the YouTube channel within 2 or 3 days. So, and you can look at our old events. There's been a ton of really good speakers and a ton of really good advice there. So feel free to go there and use it. So, no more questions? Did you guys get some ideas for yourself, though?
What's the name of the sign? What is it called? A banner sign?
Bandit.
Bandit?
Bandit.
Oh.
The guy's gonna rob you, bandit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it really, if you're there just to satisfy the people's need when you go in the lead, no matter what you do, you're satisfying it, you can make money. So that's the key thing. And we do some wholesale deals too. So thank you guys.
What we always do is allow people to come up at the end of the meeting and do what Jeremy from Renegades calls shameless self-promotion. So if anyone has any sort of announcement that they'd like to make about themselves and the property they have in their business, feel free to come on up. That will be your time.
How are we doing today? Very good. Well, my name is David Thomas, and I'm a mortgage broker. I've been in the business about 9 years now, and my company's name is Best Interest Financial, and we're located in St. Clair Shores. We started the company this year, really in efforts to get closer to the community. I've been in the industry, like I said, about 8, 9 years now, but licensed in 24 states, doing a lot of work virtually. All over the country. Wanted to have an opportunity to really build roots where we live and play, where we have a family at right now. So that's kind of why we started the company. A lot of what I'm doing right now is, of course, helping people with purchases. Of course, we know where the market is from an interest rate standpoint. Believe it or not, a lot of folks doing cash out refinances and home equity lines of credit right now. Credit card debt is through the roof across the country, and a lot of folks are taking advantage of high equity in their homes right now to get some of that stuff mitigated. So, yeah, we do pretty much everything when it comes to home financing, commercial loans, construction, new construction, construction and permanent, first-time home buyers, down payment assistance, you name it, we do it. And yeah, appreciate you having me. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
John, could you give your phone number and how we get a hold of you?
Yes, absolutely. So again, my name is David Thomas. My direct phone number is 269-808-8805, and my direct email is my first and last name, David Thomas, and it's at B as in boy, I as in igloo, F as in Frank, mortgage.com.
All right, thank you, David. Anyone else have any announcement they would like to make, anything that they would like to promote? Come on up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Stambro. I work with a company that teaches people how to prepare their own credit, EYI system. Partnered with a company, My Econ, about 8 years ago. Basically, our system helps people at their own pace prepare their own credit. We have our video system. It has all the letter templates. So if you have clients who might have credit that's not in the right place based on the home they want to get, we show them how to send the letters in themselves. We show them how to track their own scores as they're sending those letters in. And it's a system that they get to learn for themselves as opposed to sending it to someone else where they may not understand the whole process, but they understand. Sometimes we can just quote unquote help someone out by doing it for them. You might do more harm than good. By having a video system that it goes, it's about 4 videos, literally about 24 to 25 minutes. It's about a series of 4 or 5 videos that they can complete at their own pace. And the system, basically, we just try to help them in terms of getting that program done. Anyone wants to reach me, the number I can reach on my cell phone is 248-736-4965. It's 248-736-4965. My email is Stan, T-Tom, A-N-B-R-O-U, the number 30 @gmail.com. That's S-T-A-N-B-R-O-U, the number 30 @gmail.com. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I want to remind everyone, we have these meetings the third Tuesday of every month, always here at Shields Pizza, 10 Mile of Telegraph in South Carolina, Michigan, always free. Thank you, see you next month.